They cancel the plans and something in them relaxes. They close the door and the day finally gets quiet. They love you and they still need you to leave. To the people around them, it can feel like rejection, like being pushed away, like they'd rather be anywhere than with you. It isn't that. It's almost the opposite. The people who need to be alone aren't running from you. They're doing the one thing that lets them come back to you as a whole person instead of an empty one. And the reason they need to do it so badly is buried in something most people never think about: what actually happens to a nervous system in a room full of other people. So why does being around people drain some to empty while it fills others up? What is the person who needs solitude actually doing in that quiet? And when is that need healthy recovery, and when is it a door quietly closing? Here's what we don't say out loud. Being around other people is work. Even good company, even people you love. Your brain is constantly reading faces, tracking tone, predicting what comes next, managing how you come across. It happens under the surface all the time, and it burns real energy. For some people, that cost is low. A crowd charges them up. For others, the meter runs fast. By the end of a social day, their system is simply spent, not because anything went wrong, but because staying tuned to other humans is expensive, and they've been paying all day. Solitude is where the meter stops. It's not them disliking people. It's them finally putting down a weight they've been carrying since morning. So what happens in that alone time? The constant monitoring switches off. There's no face to read, no impression to manage, no next thing to anticipate. For the first time all day, the nervous system gets to drop out of high alert and just idle. And in that idle, something important comes back. Their own thoughts without an audience. Their own preferences not shaped around anyone else's. The sense of where they end and other people begin. You can see it in the small things. The way they take the long way home just to get 10 more minutes in the car. The way the phone goes on silent, not against anyone, just to make the world pause for a moment. The bath that runs a little too long. The walk that has no destination at all. None of it is escape. It's repair, done quietly in the only room where nobody needs anything from them. This is why the person who needs solitude often seems like a different, warmer person after they've had it. They didn't dislike you before. They were just running on empty, and now the tank is full. Alone time isn't the opposite of connection. For them, it's the thing that makes connection possible. Here's what makes this harder than it needs to be. Most people who need solitude feel guilty for needing it. They watch others who seem to run on people, who leave a party more alive than they arrived, and they wonder what's wrong with them. Why a wonderful evening still leaves them hollow. Why loving someone and needing distance from them can be true at the very same time. So they push through. They say yes when every signal says stop. They stay at the gathering long past the point their system quietly shut the doors. And because they're masking exhaustion, they're worse company anyway, half present, counting the minutes. Then they get home depleted and pay twice. Once for the socializing, once for the guilt about needing to recover from it. None of that is necessary. The meter isn't a character flaw. It's just how they're wired, and a person who plans around their wiring is far warmer than one who runs themselves into empty and calls it love. But there's a second version of this that wears the same clothes, and it's worth being honest about. Sometimes I need to be alone is recovery, and sometimes it's a slow retreat. Real solitude restores you and sends you back toward people. Avoidance disguised as solitude pulls you further from them each time. One fills the tank so you can return. The other quietly convinces you the road back isn't worth taking. The tell is what happens after. If your alone time leaves you ready to reconnect, that's regulation, and you should protect it fiercely. If it leaves you dreading the next message, cancelling a little more each week, feeling the world get smaller, that's not rest anymore. That's a door closing 1 inch at a time. So here's the reframe. Needing to be alone was never rejection. And, at its best, it was never antisocial. It's a nervous system with a fast meter, doing the exact maintenance it needs to stay connected without burning out. The person who disappears for an evening isn't leaving you. Most of the time, they're making sure they have something left to bring back. The quiet isn't the absence of love. It's the room where they refill it. So, if you're the one who needs the door closed sometimes, stop apologizing for the meter you were born with. You don't love people less because company costs you more. But do run the honest check. Is your solitude sending you back to the world or slowly replacing it? Protect the kind that restores you. Watch the kind that isolates you. And stop performing an apology for it. Sorry, I just need a quiet night carries a guilt that teaches everyone around you that the need is a defect. It isn't. So name it plainly instead. I'm going to recharge and I'll come back better company. That's not a rejection. It's a promise. The people worth keeping will learn the rhythm. They'll stop reading your quiet as distance. And you'll stop spending your alone time half guilty, which is the one thing that stops it from working. Because solitude only refills you if you actually rest in it, instead of silently apologizing for taking it. And if you love someone who needs to vanish now and then, don't take the closed door as a verdict on you. It usually isn't. The kindest thing you can do is let them go quiet without making them feel guilty for it, because that's exactly what lets them come back. And if that person lives with you, learn the difference between a door closed against you and a door closed to rest. It looks the same from the hallway. It isn't. One is punishment. The other is maintenance. Ask which it is, once, kindly, and then believe the answer. Give the quiet without making them earn it back with reassurance. The surest way to lose someone who needs space is to make every retreat cost them a fight. The surest way to keep them is to make coming back easy. People who need to be alone aren't pushing you away. They're recharging the part of them that reaches toward you. The quiet isn't a wall. When it's healthy, it's the room where they become themselves again. So they have a self to share. For more videos like this, leave a like and subscribe to the channel.